Hi guys, how do you get into China's top universities as a foreigner? In this video, I'm going to share the entry requirements, the programs that they have in English, how do you apply, and try and make it really easy and so you can save time. And this should save you hours of research. We have helped many students to apply to top universities at China Admissions, so I'm going to share some of the things that we've learned over the years, and you can also download some of these guides in the description. So the C9 League is the 9 top public universities in China that receive the most funding from the government. So that is Fudan University, Shanghai Jiao Tong University, Harbin Institute of Technology, Nanjing University, Peking University, Tsinghua, University of Science and Technology of China, Xi'an Jiao Tong University, and Zhejiang University. China is putting a lot of funding into these top universities, and they also have this goal of building 42 world-class Chinese universities by 2050. It's called the Double First Class Plan. So I'm going to talk through a bit more about how to get into some of the universities. So let's start with what programs do they have in the universities. So just to introduce us, I'm Rich from China Admissions, and this is our platform where we help international students to search programs and apply to universities in China. You can find out more information on China Admissions and you can apply. You can also ask our friendly chatbot as well, which actually works pretty well. So let's start through looking at some of the programs that they have in these universities, because these universities have thousands of programs in Chinese, but if you're applying as a foreigner, you may be interested in the English program. So I'm going to look through the English programs. So most of these universities don't have many bachelor's programs in English. They will have a handful of master's programs and then PhD programs. So this is the programs at Beijing Normal University. This is Wuhan University. They do have some bachelor's programs in English. So these ones are not all the C9 League. This is a selection of top ones. So these are also very highly ranked. So it has a selection of bachelor's programs in English. Then usually they have a few more master's programs in English, and then they have PhD programs. This is Huazhong University Science Technology in Wuhan as well. This is just for general information only, so you should always check the latest information on the university website directly. And sometimes the programs may change. For example, if they don't have enough foreigners, they may not continue with this program in English. So if you apply to them and there's only 10 instead of 15 students, they may cancel the program. So that's important to consider. Nanjing University has not very many in English. Zhejiang University has more in English. So you can see here, they also have some joint programs. They have the University of Edinburgh dual degree programs and a selection of other programs. They do have a few more bachelor's programs here at ZIBS, which is Zhejiang International Business School. The MBBS program is very popular, probably the most popular out of all these programs. Shanghai Jiao Tong University, they don't have any bachelor's programs in English, but they have many master's programs and then a few PhD programs. So this is one of the top universities in Shanghai. And another top university in Shanghai is Fudan University. And they have, again, this is probably one of the most popular programs, the MBBS program, medicine. Students come from all over the world to study medicine. And then the master's programs, there's a large number in English. This international finance program is popular. All of these universities, pretty much every university has a Chinese language program. So I'm going to tell you a bit more about how to get into these universities in a bit, but this is first introducing the English programs. And then Peking University doesn't have any bachelor's programs in English, apart from possibly 1 or 2 joint bachelor's programs, but they mostly have master's programs. So these are some of the master's programs that they have. The Yanqing Academy is one of the really popular programs because it's a fully funded scholarship. So it's very competitive to get into that one. And they also have a few more programs in Peking University Shenzhen campus as well, which isn't included here. And then this is the Tsinghua University. They have this joint degree bachelor's program. And then the master's programs you can see here. And then the PhD programs, they have a large number. So Tsinghua is more for engineering and Peking has less English programs in general. So if you want to apply to these, I'm going to tell you a bit more about the entry requirements. So just to summarize, the bachelor's programs, they're normally, let's look through here. Well, so basically the bachelor's programs, each of these programs will be managed separately. So for example, the master's programs, this will be managed by each school. They have their own entry requirements for master's programs. And then for PhD programs, so for example, if you're applying for the Chinese in the LLM in Chinese law, you'll need to apply through the law school, and the law school will handle the admission. They will decide if you get accepted or not, and then it will be accepted by the school and then accepted by the university. They will review you finally to see if you can get accepted. And that's the same for all of these programs. So they're all managed independently, and they will usually have different deadlines, although they may be similar. Then the PhD programs, you will usually need to find a supervisor for the PhD program. So if you're applying for a neurobiology website, you will need to submit your research proposal, for example, and submit that to the PhD, the school, whichever school this may be. So for example, so whichever school that may be, you will need to submit your PhD research proposal for that school, and then they will review it. And then one of the key things is the supervisor interested in your studies? Are you able to find a supervisor? And so that's usually the determining factor if you can get a PhD program, if you can get into the PhD program. And then about scholarships, because the bachelor's programs, like in general in China, the bachelor's programs are mostly in Chinese. Other universities do have bachelor's programs, but so for example, like Huajiang, for example, it's very unlikely you'll be able to get a bachelor's scholarship for this university if you're studying in English. And usually they will give the scholarships for bachelor's if you're studying in Chinese. It's the same for but for master's programs, you are more likely to get a English master's scholarship. But for bachelor's programs, they really want to give the scholarship to people who are going to study in Chinese. So let's look at the program requirements. So let's start with Peking University. So this will be for the bachelor program. So they usually have these age requirements, and they will have HSK requirement as well if you're studying in Chinese. And then they have these certain SAT requirements. So it's really competitive to get into Peking, and if you're applying as an international student, you're expected to have the same level as a local Chinese student. And then you'll have these interviews, and you'll need to go through this interview process, which is very competitive. The Zhejiang University, these are the entry requirements, and you will also need to have good performance depending what program you're applying for. If you're applying for a medical program, you're going to have good results for biology, chemistry, maths. They will look at your grades for different subjects. Fudan University as well, they will have an HSK requirement if you're studying in Chinese, and they will have a requirement for SAT as well. So this is some of the research that we did for computer science. So I'm sharing it here, and you can also download it in the description. And then for Tsinghua University, you can see that they also have an HSK requirement and a TOEFL requirement if you're studying one of the English programs. And then these are some of the dates. So we have for 2022 only right now. So this is just a reference, but if you want to get the latest information, you can check it on China Admissions, or you can ask us. So they will normally have different rounds. So it's really a good idea to apply in an earlier round if you want to increase your chance of getting accepted. And then Zhejiang University will usually have a later round than some of the other ones. And then for Tsinghua, Peking, they will have an entrance exam as well, which is really important to prepare for. So yeah, if this is some information, if you'd like to learn more, you can check it out on China Admissions, and you can apply on our platform, or you can book a free call with us and we can help you through the process. And I hope that's helpful for you. Wish you the best in your application. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments, and wish you the best in your application to Chinese universities. Cheers.